8:19 now. Go ahead and settle down and turn our focus to the screen. Welcome to Honors World History 2. This morning we're going to learn about the constitutional monarchy in England, which is the English Civil War from 1642 to 1651. Our biblical integration is from Matthew 12:25. Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself will not stand. So we're gonna watch a short little video right here.
In 1640,
oh no, hold on.
Just drag it over.
I knew.
There you go.
There we go.
What I had to do, leave my home and family too, and fight for good old Charlie. Fighting for old Charlie. In 1643, those roundheads, they were after me, but we were on a winning spree, fighting for old Charlie. Of what we're going to be doing today. I handed out some fill-in-the-blank notes, and the bold words on the screen here are going to be what you're filling in. So, the king's
supporters were called Cavaliers or Royalists. Catholics and most of the notables supported the king, as you could obviously guess. Those that supported Parliament and opposed the king were known as Roundheads because of their short haircuts. Puritans and the middle class were basically all of the Roundheads here. There was about 200,000 people that would die during the Civil War. The Royal Navy officers joined the king, but the sailors and ships joined Oliver Cromwell. And the Navy helps keep trade flowing during the war and prevent other monarchs from intervening. So, after suffering several losses to the king's forces, a Puritan general named Oliver Cromwell made changes and created the well-trained New Model Army. This force defeated the Cavaliers and captured the king. After his capture, the king offered to rule with limited power. However, Oliver Cromwell refused and planned to execute the king. And this right here is Oliver Cromwell. And this is what his New Model Army would have looked like. And let's see. Right here is a diagram or map of the Royalists versus Parliamentarians. The green is the Parliamentarians and the red is the Royalists. Throughout this whole war and throughout the battles, you can see that by the end here, Parliamentarians took over. And Oliver Cromwell became Lord Protector of England after executing the king, which is to come. Alright, so Parliament and Oliver Cromwell won the English Civil War. So what happens to King Charles now? Well, their first option was to make him sign a document that limits his power and put him back on the throne as a limited monarch. And their second option is to keep him under house arrest permanently. And option number 3, which obviously we can guess by the introduction song that we listened to this morning, they went with option 3, which was to execute King Charles on January 30th, 1649. And Cromwell kind of wanted Charles back on the throne, but he only wanted him to have limited power. However, King Charles refused to give up any power whatsoever. So with that, he had already broken his word before in the Petition of Right, and they decided, and King Charles actually secretly sent letters to his allies in Scotland to march an army south to break him out of house arrest. And obviously the king is too powerful and dangerous to be left alive in this. So he ended up being executed. Alright. Now, with the power of the army at his back, Cromwell exiled hundreds of parliament members who wanted to compromise with the king. And in 1649, Charles I was executed. Cromwell abolished the monarchy and established a republic, governed by the Rump Parliament and himself. Cromwell eventually dissolved the Rump Parliament and declared himself to be Lord Protector and ruled England until his death in 1658. In 1653, Cromwell marches soldiers into Parliament and disbands them. Cromwell declares himself as Lord Protector of England because he really didn't want anybody to end up overthrowing him again and coming back as claiming to a monarch. After the war was won, Cromwell's military purged Parliament of those not loyal to Cromwell, and King Charles was put on trial and executed in 1649, as we saw from the last slide. And rump parliament, which usually means the end of an animal, in this case it means remnants of parliament. Anyone who disagreed was exiled. Leadership principle: when you find yourself in charge, don't surround yourself with the yes men. That's what Cromwell figured out at the end of this. So, as Lord Protector of England, he reigned from 53 to 58. His accomplishments were he removed corrupt and greedy politicians from power. He stabilized England and prevented social anarchy, chaos, and another civil war, actually. He emphasized education and religious toleration. He allowed exiled Jews to return to England, which is actually a really good thing.
I'm so sorry.
You're fine. He promoted Christian virtue and morality in England, which, if you can guess, what do you think King Charles was? Was he a Catholic? Was he, at this point in the lecture, what do you think he was? Was he a Catholic? Or was King Charles a Catholic? Or was he something else? Let's go back in our minds a little bit. Take a step back. Was King Charles a Catholic? Was he a Protestant? Okay. Alright, so he unified Scotland and Ireland and England into one country. So this really allowed for a bigger area of landmass that he could rule over. And he strengthened the Royal Navy and turned England into a successful global trading empire. Why do you think global trading was a good idea at this time? We're in the mid 1600s. Why do you think global trading was a good idea? Yes, sir.
Because they had colonies and stuff in two different continents now, so they were going all around the world.
Exactly. Alright, so they seized the Dutch colony of New Amsterdam in North America and renamed it New York City. But since he disbanded Parliament and ruled as a military dictator, Lord Protector, he wasn't able to maintain as much order as he wanted. So to maintain that order, England was split into 12 military districts, each under the control of a major general. So, September 3rd, 1658, Cromwell is dead. He starts going downhill. His daughter died of cancer when she was 29. He stopped seeing people and stopped ruling. Maybe sees what he's become. I don't know. We'll never know. He becomes sick, possibly from malaria, and dies on September 3rd, 1658. The same night, a terrible storm hits England. Ships sank, homes were destroyed, and it was said that Satan was coming to take Cromwell's soul. Obviously, we've had a few storms that kind of equal out to that in the past few weeks, but we don't know if that's actually true or not. So, his son, Richard, ruled for less than a year and then was disposed because they decided they didn't want any more Lord Protectors or anything like that. So, in your opinion, was Oliver Cromwell a hero or was he a villain? Take a minute, discuss with people around you what y'all think, if he was a hero or a villain based on what y'all seen this morning.
So it's kind of hard. It's like a gray area of like, well, back then the standards were a lot different. So you kind of have to think like in terms of back then versus like society's
No, you're fine.
She said, well,
Hey guys.
One thing I did is, like, his whole goal was to get rid of money, right? But then when he that was bad, there's gonna be a group of people that like, hey, that's similar to what we fought to do. Even though he wasn't bad. Right. So, for the most part, I would call him villain.
Just a guy.
Well, the video stopped, so I had to restart it. I just do it again. So, but I've gotten everything.
Alright guys, let's bring it back. Bring it back to the front. Alright. It's time to bring our attention back to the front of the class. Thank you. Okay. Here's I pulled some quotes. I'd rather be the villain who lives to the end than the hero who winds up dead. And another one, every villain is a hero in his own mind. Does that go along with what y'all were thinking about Cromwell? Yeah. Okay. Now, it's your turn. I handed out a paper that looks like this. If you didn't get one, raise your hand. Alright, now it's your turn. I put these columns here. Explain and list the causes of the English Civil War and how the execution of King Charles impacted the monarchy. From what we went over this morning. This is supposed to be a little end of unit assessment for the day, but if you cannot remember, you are allowed to work with a partner. When you're done, or when you think you're done, just put your pencils down. minutes. And pencils down. One more minute. Alright, pencils down. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And when you're done with those, pass those to the middle so I can come collect them.